Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what we got going on here today? Well, check this out, man. I told y'all the feds, they investigating everybody involved in this whole YoungDolph setup at Makedas. I know you got some folks saying they already investigated and wrote statements from those at Makedas and the surrounding stores who witnessed the whole setup. But because the Scorpion unit hid a lot of evidence, reports, and camera footage, the feds want them to tell the whole story over from top to bottom to see if all the stories align with what was stated before. But this is something that most of us paid attention to from the beginning. It's that Raven storyline never added up to what Pam or Maurice was saying. For example, Maurice stated himself to the reporter that he was not in Makedas when YoungDolph pulled up. He didn't hear no shells flying or people yelling the time straight dropped, and Cornelius Smith pulled up to unload the whole clip inside the cookie shop. So what I'm saying is Maurice's whereabouts and statements sound very suspicious. Because if you had people who were shopping at Family Dollar or folks washing their clothes at the laundromat saying they heard shells flying and glass shattering, how can Maurice say he ain't hear none of that when he was only in the back of Makedas? You see how that don't sound right? It seemed like Maurice was already contacted from someone to exit Makedas when YoungDolph pulled up, because them dudes about to hop out with the burners and start spraying. Matter of fact, didn't Raven say that the store got a phone call from a strange man as soon as YoungDolph walked in? So that should tell y'all these people know something. And again, that's the reason why Maurice was not in the cookie shop when YoungDolph pulled up. Then you had Raven saying that Maurice was actually trying to save YoungDolph, telling him, wake up, stay with us, don't go. But remember, you had Maurice himself state he was not in Makedas when YoungDolph pulled up, that he was nowhere near YoungDolph when the whole setup went down. That's why the folks who got love for YoungDolph want them people at Makedas to tell the truth and nothing but the whole truth about who paid that bag to set up YoungDolph in your place of business. See, this what I'm trying to understand. Hear me out. If we got straight drop brother Jamarcus, he's being charged with accessory to an M1. They basically saying that Jamarcus helped his brother straight drop make some moves to take out YoungDolph at the cookie shop. Then we gotta keep it 100. Those people at Makedas, Pam, Maurice, and Raven, they should be charged with the same crime, if not something more criminal. My only question, similar to everybody else's, is why was none one of them in Makedas on that date of November the 17th, 2021. I'm talking about Pam, Maurice, or Raven, knowing hours ahead of time that YoungDolph was pulling up that day. Because y'all called folks and told him y'all had some cookies ready for him. And when YoungDolph get there with his brother Marcus, y'all nowhere in sight. I'm telling y'all, everybody in South Memphis know these folks had their hands all in the cookie jar pertaining to assisting Yo Gotti and his brother Big Jook set up YoungDolph at Makedas. And y'all want to know how? Because one of them, most people believe it was Raven who contacted YoungDolph to ask when he was coming to grab some hot and fresh chocolate chip cookies straight out the oven. Because Pam and Raven, they even stated themselves, they knew that's what YoungDolph liked. And whenever Dolph was in town, he would pull up to grab a dozen, either for himself or for his family. But isn't that a coincidence? The narrative based around the reason why YoungDolph pulled up to Makedas, it changed 3 different times. Let me run it back. Again, Raven stated YoungDolph was coming to Makedas to grab some cookies for himself. Then there was Dolph had his son Trey with him, and he was grabbing some cookies for Mia J, or for YoungDolph moms. I guess that wasn't believable enough, so they said YoungDolph always do a turkey drive every year. So let's say he was grabbing some cookies for the turkey drive. Now that sounds more realistic, right? I'm telling y'all, and we already know that Raven wasn't there when the whole setup took place. But somehow she the one controlling the whole narrative based around the reason why YoungDolph pulled up to Makedas in the first place? Come on, man. Now we all know they never had any chocolate chip cookies ready for YoungDolph. That was their paid position on Yo Gotti chessboard, which was all deployed to get YoungDolph to Makedas so Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith could follow him there, hop out the white Benz with the autos and start spraying. I don't think y'all understand that this was all a distraction because Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith was aiming reckless, shells flying everywhere. They wasn't really trying to hit nobody, which gave Maurice enough time to open up the back door for Govan so he could have a clear shot on YoungDolph. And Govan gave YoungDolph the whole clip, all 22 shells at that. I mean, come on, man. Do y'all really believe the shells that came from Straight Drop or Cornelius Smith's burner actually hit YoungDolph? I told y'all before, if that was true, it would have been 5 people laid out instead of 1. It's just Makedas was the perfect location to set up somebody like YoungDolph. Because for one, Dolph felt comfortable around them folks at Makedas. In the sense, whenever he came around, he would let his guard down. And 2, Dolph never expected that they would assist his ops to take him out. It still seems unreal that YoungDolph isn't here. With that, let's pay our respects to the King of Memphis and say rest in peace to YoungDolph, condolences to his family, and much love to all my folks in Dolph Land. Again, to all my folks in Dolph Land, you will soon get justice for YoungDolph's untimely demise. We know y'all miss a real one out there. There's not too many people in the world who move like YoungDolph. He was a real cat that looked out for his family and people in his community. Because y'all knew YoungDolph's mentality, he wanted to see everybody in Castay win. That's why YoungDolph ops knew they couldn't take him out of Castay, cause everybody involved in that setup would have got lit up, and they knew that. As a matter of fact, while y'all at it, go ahead and drop those Dolphs in the comments and show your love and support for PaperRouteFrank. Now that the Scorpion unit is out the way, the feds, they can properly handle this whole YoungDolph case. See, the feds, they'll sit back for 2 or 3 years to make it seem like everything cool, and they'll let you make your money because they know you're gonna need it for lawyer fees and court costs anyway, until you or anyone affiliated with you put their guard down, and that's when they gonna come knocking right on your door with information you thought they never had before. What made folks really believe them people at Makedas assisted Yo Gotti and his brother Big Juke take out YoungDolph? Because all of a sudden Yo Gotti decides to invite Pam and Maurice to have dinner with his moms? Was he thanking them for setting up the play to take out PaperRouteFrank? And now Yo Gotti is a silent investor in Makedas like YoungDolph was? Come on, man. Not to mention Raven's sister being a radio personality and only doing interviews with CMG artists that's out of Memphis, but never asked to interview the PaperRoute artists that's from Memphis as well. And they talking about they had love for YoungDolph. Yeah, right. Man, let me tell y'all something. Pam, Maurice, and Raven, they day-to-day interactions with CMG after YoungDolph's untimely demise just shows us they were definitely paid a bag, a real big bag, to assist Yo Gotti and his brother Big Juke take out PaperRouteFrank at their place of business. Like I told you guys before, Yo Gotti and even them people at Makedas, they think this case is over. Since the Alphabet Boys caught Straight Drop, his brother Jamarcus Johnson, Cornelius Smith, and Govan, but they have no clue this is far from over. Because they just now realizing how much love that YoungDolph had, and not just in Memphis, I'm talking about across the globe. So there's a lot of folks out there who got love for YoungDolph PaperRoute, and they want justice for his untimely demise. And the people brought down based on whoever sent him up. I'ma always feel like instead of them planning to take out somebody that was actually a positive influence in their community, they should have been planning to do something more productive for the city of Memphis. And that's real. So with that, always be aware and always stay prepared. But hey, we got more in store. As always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.